Real quick before we get into the episode, I am trying to reach a goal of 1,000 listeners. Whether you are new to this podcast or you're an avid listener, I would love for you to give me a like, share, and a follow so we can reach my goal of 1,000 listeners. Also have provided in the description of the podcast options for those who want to support this podcast to donate to the podcast. So help me reach 1,000 listeners, and let's get into the episode. Ew. Welcome to Stuck in a Truck. I'm your host, Nick, and this is Stuck in a Truck. Hello, welcome. This is Stuck in a Truck, and I'm your host, Nick. Today I am very, very excited, mainly because this is our first ever episode that we're going to be doing. I am very new at this podcasting kind of arena, and so there's just going to be a little bit of awkwardness. There's going to be a lot of pauses, a lot of ums, a lot of buts, and etc. So bear with me through this process while I go along my journey to becoming a new podcaster. I just want to say, if you like any of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and support me on this journey. Today's episode, I just kind of want to go over a little bit on why I'm even starting this, and I think this podcast is just going to be a little bit short. I think I'm going to do a few podcasts a week. That way, you can have a little more content. As far as these, the duration of these videos are going to be, they're probably going to be between 10 to 20 minutes. So they're not going to be these huge, large Joe Rogan podcasts. So just expect that from me. I also, if I didn't say before, I just want to apologize on behalf of the background noise. You're going to hear a lot of clicking, a lot of beeping, a lot of stuff. So for those audiophiles out there, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. But getting into just a little bit of why I'm starting a podcast in the first place. I love the opportunity that I have as a truck driver. Don't get me wrong. I love that I can have this job, and it provides not only for me but for my family. And I'm very thankful for that, and I'm very appreciative. But as time has gone on, because I'll almost finish 2 years in about a few months. So I've almost been doing trucking for about 2 years. And for me, this job hasn't been as fulfilling as I've wanted it to be. I know it's fulfilled my financial needs, but just when it comes to having autonomy over myself, it's nice that I can financially provide for myself, but if I can't have my own kind of personal autonomy in being able to go on vacation. Now, I don't want to be lavish. I don't want to be I'm going to go on vacation every weekend or every 2 months or etc. I literally cannot afford to go at all. I'm either working my butt off or I'm sleeping. And quite honestly, that quality of life it's just slowly been deteriorating who I am, and it's taking a big toll on my mental health, and it's been taking a really big toll on my physical health too. Mainly because I think everyone's gonna be well, Nick, you gotta find time to work out. You gotta find this. You're right, but the way that my body's kind of just my situation, the way that my situation is going, it's just I can't. I can't do it, mainly because I just don't have energy. It's either choosing between, spending time with my daughter, sleeping, or working. And right now, I'm a little bit focused on, taking care of my daughter, and as well as pretty soon I'm going to have another one soon. So within the next week or so. And that's going to be an exciting, endeavor as well, having 2 kids and a wife and all this. And I'm just stressed. And so the reason to why I'm podcasting is I just want to create a little bit more autonomy for myself. I would like to have a little bit more freedom to, spend more time with my children and my wife and my family, and, be able to create memories rather than like barely being awake on the weekends when I have my time off, or barely being present because my brain shut off and I just can't, I don't have enough energy just to be going crazy and running everywhere and doing not only just taking care of my daughters, but like, just running around and doing chores. So it's just, I would like a little bit more free time for myself. Not for myself, but just being able to have a little bit more free time and the ability to, work and have, the energy to, after work, take care of my family and create memories and, just provide a better quality of life for myself. Now, this job has provided a better quality of living, mainly because I can afford things and I'm not stressing extremely on like what am I going to eat this week. And I'll get into that because quite honestly, before I got into this job, I was on food stamps. My wife was on Medicaid. I was still technically covered by my parents' insurance at the time. So I didn't need insurance at the moment, so it wasn't too, important to me. And as well as at the time, well, I currently am still healthy. I put on a little bit of weight, but I'm still healthy. I was stressed. I'm lucky to have the job that I have, and because I have the job that I have a little bit of, as a trucker, I'm sitting in a truck looking at the road. I'm taking phone calls more or less like every other night. And so I have the ability just to look at the road and talk. Now, all of this is done hands-free. I have nothing in my hands. The only thing in my hands is my steering wheel. So, and my foot on the gas. So for those who are worried about my safety, I'm safe. I've been taking precautions to ensure that I can still be safe and do this podcast. You will see that I am recording video as well, but it's on a GoPro that's mounted. And it's time lapsed. That way I'm not worrying about just a weird video or something like that. You're just gonna go along the entire journey with me, what route I do every day, and you're gonna hear me rant and complain and whine about how Michigan and Ohio and Indiana drivers are just crap drivers, and as well as you're gonna hear me yell at semi truck drivers who are just doing stupid things, and etc. But back to just the why to the podcast. There's other reasons too. The why as a trucker, I have had the opportunity to listen to a lot of podcasts because I eventually got really sick and tired of listening to music all the time. And for me, I don't normally search out a lot of new music, so my music's on repeat a lot. So after doing 12 to 14 hour shifts every single day, listening to the same music every single day, regardless of the wide spectrum of music that I've saved and put playlists for myself, it just, you hear everything 8 billion times, and it gets to a point where you're just going crazy. So I eventually got into podcasting, and quite honestly, I've never stopped listening because right now I think I'm subscribed to about 25 to 30 different podcasts right now, ranging from a wide spectrum of different podcasters, from comics to Joe Rogan to cooking podcasts to thriller podcasts to murder mystery podcasts to like like gossip podcasting, as well as like political podcasting, sitting up on top of like the news podcasters. But lately it's just been a lot of just like comics. I just love them. Like, just to name a few, like Stiff Socks is one of my favorite. Chrissy Chaos is another favorite of mine. I love Tiger Belly right now. It's something that I've quite enjoyed. Mainly because they have a lot of episodes up, so not only do I stay up to date with the current ones, but as well as I can go back to the ones that just like they've done, and they've got a lot of episodes. Ginger Whiskey is pretty good. You know, Bad Friends I quite enjoy. As you can see, I really love Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee, if you're listening, and I know that you are, you know, help me grow my podcast. I would love to have you on the podcast, or have me be on your podcast, regardless if I'm in Michigan and you're all the way in California. But anyways, podcasting has slowly become like a passion for me that I'd like to like pick up and see if it could be a potential career path for me. In the past, I guess since 2020, I've gone through like I think 10 different jobs. So, and it's only been like 3 years. So that's a lot. And so I've dabbled in a lot of things. I've dabbled in a lot of warehouse. I've dabbled in a lot of sales jobs. I've dabbled in, you name it, including trucking, which is my current one right now. But yeah, the reasons for me to start because I just like, well, why don't I just take advantage of the time that I'm just normally listening to a podcast or listening to music or talking to friends, and just take like maybe 20-15 minutes to, you know, just stop and record something and see what's on my brain and what's on my mind. But again, this is just an introductory episode. And quite honestly, it's the first episode. It's going to be awkward. It's going to sound weird. You're going to hear a lot of background noise, which I, again, apologize for. And hopefully soon I will get into like more or less of a studio setup where it's not as bad for the background noise. But, you know, let me know if it's okay, if it sounds terrible, if I need to figure out some kind of software to even further get some like noise cancellation in the background taken care of. You let me know. But again, if you want to support me through my journey, developing this podcast, because I don't know what it's going to form into. Right now, it's just going to be me just talking to myself. But please, if you like this content, if you want to support this content, or if you want to, you know, enrich this content by either like in the comments below, just suggesting different topics I should talk about, you let me know. But let me just go over real quick just the name, because this is just completely random, but I feel it's important. Stuck in a Truck. That one called out to me because I think it can relate to a lot of people these days. Now, you might not be stuck in an actual truck, but you might be stuck in a dead-end job. You might be stuck in a bad relationship. You might be stuck in, like, just your depression, your anxiety, stuck in your head, stuck in, like, decision paralysis, stuck in wherever you may be. And I think I would like to focus this on, you know, people, you know, either through Instagram or through my platforms, you know, reach out to me and share their story. And I'd like to, you know, share that content with you guys, have this be more or less like a supportive podcast where, you know, I pull different people's like different stories and relate to them and give them advice. That way it can give you hope you know, just to carry on. This should be a podcast where it's uplifting. It's going to be, I'll try to keep the swearing to a minimal unless I'm really angry about something. And if I am, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to be an environment where people can share their story. They can be heard. They can be validated in that way, and it can be a place where people can go and search for either advice. And it may not be just me that gives you the advice. It could be I could share something, someone writes something in the comments, and I could share that comment with somebody. Or I can open up the floor to, the listeners and just say, John is dealing with this X, Y, and Z. Let's gather today, let's gather all of us together and put ourselves in a think tank and see what we can do to help this guy out, etc. That's just a small example. So I want to grow this podcast into something where I can create a little bit more autonomy, a little bit more time for myself, but it's not mainly focused on that. It's mainly focused to create an environment for others to be validated, to be heard, to be listened to, and I want to form it into a very positive podcast. So again, if you want to support this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll probably provide like a Patreon or something like that to provide bonus content to possibly create those who want to even support me, want to even support me even further. But please like and subscribe after the billionth time. I appreciate you, and I look forward to the next time. This has been Stuck in a Truck.